Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgan Knows Podcasting Network. In the ring with Jimmy, Chris, and Rod Freakin Morgan. Rod, how happy are you?
Oh, my goodness, Jimmy Jam. Listen, if you would have asked me on the pod previous to this SummerSlam premium live event, the biggest party of the summer, if you'd have said, Rod, lay out your ultimate SummerSlam fantasy booking where you get everything you want, you get to be happy, nothing goes against you, I wouldn't have laid it out even as good as it happened tonight. Charlotte takes a punch in the face from Alexa, doesn't get mad at her, doesn't do the thing we all expect the Queen to do, and wins gold. And then CM Punk wins. My prediction becomes correct. Then my other prediction comes correct when Seth Rollins comes out in a cast and crutches. And then to top it all off, Jimmy, he's not really hurt and he wins the belt. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. I'm a kid again.
Chris, you love this, don't you? You love every second of Seth Rollins winning.
It literally saved Saturday night of SummerSlam for me.
Okay.
I'm just going to say that because I was already dejected from hearing Rod earlier this week on the pod that I happened to miss, that he was all about Phil getting a belt all of a sudden, like a big old turncoat. I can't believe it, right? And then he beats Gunther, who I still think should have kept the belt. I was so dejected. I walked out of the room. I turned off the TV, and then I was like, I got to turn it back on just in case something crazy happens. Yeah. And that was, I walked away. I was so mad. I walked away and barely came back in time to see the ultimate finish. The only thing that saved it.
Rod, Chris is calling you out for being kind of, changing your mind. I call it evolving, learning more, and then changing your opinion. A lot of people need to think about that actually in this world today. However, you just quit, Chris. Like, Rod quit. He quit.
Yeah, he sort of did. I mean, I loved everything about that match, right? I mean, I want to start there. I don't want to get lost in the Seth Rollins sauce because, of course, I got my Seth Rollins Monday Night Messiah t-shirt on. Of course, we all know I love Seth Rollins, but I don't want to get lost in the sauce, right? Like, these men put on a hell of a match, right? They put on an old school match where it was slowed down, where you were on the edge of your seat wondering who was going to get the better of this move, of that move. We saw submissions, we saw all kinds of things, we saw blood, right? Gunther's blading himself, we're doing all kinds of things in this match, and then to top it all off, we saw one of my favorite ultimate wrestling moves where Gunther takes the first go to sleep and he's just wobbling on his feet. He's not going to go down, he's just wobbling on his feet, and he hangs on to that for like 15-20 seconds, and Punk is like, what's going on here? Gives him another go to sleep, he immediately drops down, wins, the place is going crazy. And then what could make it even better than the place going crazy about Punk winning the championship, Jimmy? I'll give you the answer. Seth Rollins music hitting. That's what could make it better.
It's also another reason why it shouldn't be called Go to Sleep, because it doesn't put people to sleep.
So that match went 30 minutes and 37 seconds. You guys got cocky at about 8:45, listen, Central Time, Eastern Time, I don't even know, okay? Let's just say about 8:45 Eastern Time, I get a text from YouTube bozos saying, hey, it's going to be over before 9:30. How great is this? It was close. I thought it was overall, I really did think it was a solid matchup overall. Gunther did not blade. I think he just had some blood packets he put on because you could see it wasn't still coming down. It was kind of wiping off a little bit. I don't think he bled, but that added something to the match. When CM Punk wins, I was really thinking Rollins was just going to come and curb stomp him out of nowhere, when he was sitting there. Him coming out selling it, oh, don't worry, I'll get you, and then turns around and does the pose. I love that so much. I thought it was very well done. And this opens up, guys, the next 8 months. Okay? CM Punk on Raw is going to be pissed off. He is going to be so angry. I can't wait for this promo. And then he's got to try to build up because Rollins might actually not be around very much, okay? He's winning the Rumble. He's going to Mania. He's going to night 2 of Mania. And he's going to get his ultimate championship match. He's going to finish the story, Rod. What about that?
Yeah, I really do think we're there, right? And I think what Chris is not grasping here is that this is the thing that he gives you and I guff for, right, Jimmy? Is that we like the business, we like the work backstage, we like the storylines, we like the experience that these guys put in, right? And what Punk has essentially done for me here in the guys backstage is I'm here, guys. I'm not a huge diva. I'm not going to say that that's not going to work for me, brother. Sorry, Hulk. Sorry, Hulk.
Yeah.
But, I'm not going to say that's not going to work for me, brother. I'm going to go along with stories. I'm not going to win a belt. I'm going to be beaten seconds after I finally win the belt. It's going to be the secondary belt and not a Mania main event, right? He has played by the rules the entire time he's been around, hasn't caused any commotion. And Chris, I have to evaluate what I see on the screen from a wrestler in a production that's what I want to see. And if CM Punk is giving me the kind of great TV that I've seen him give me finally, because I've let down the veil of hatred and I've decided to just evaluate him as a professional wrestler, he really is really, really good. And I loved this build up. And I, like Jimmy, am looking forward to the story he's going to tell us leading up to next year's WrestleMania.
Chris, how's your veil of hatred?
Thick. Listen,
thick and black.
I hope that Triple H still remembers the crap that CM Punk pulled back in the day in WWE.
You're a new fan.
You guys
don't remember.
Because you tell me, Jimmy. I learned this stuff from you. You told me the story, all right?
I learned it by listening to me.
It was pretty despicable the way you say it. I hope Triple H remembers this, and he's like, okay, Punk, I'll give you a shot. You'll get the belt around you for less than 5 minutes, and that's the only taste you're gonna get. That's what I hope happens.
The fact that you don't think they have this whole planned out meeting thing, it's like, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is where we're going with it. The one thing you can say about Triple H, a little bit more than with CM Punk or than with Vince McMahon, is that he does have a little longer term storytelling. Now, obviously, this Rock situation that was kind of thrown at him, not totally his fault on that one, but he does have an eye for the future, and I think this is going to be really good business, Rod.
I totally agree. I think that we now have more of a solidified reason for what Seth and his bunch are doing. You know what I mean? Like, it was a little like, okay, we get that these are all powerful people that you put together, but what are we doing here? And so now we have a little more clear mission for them. We have a definite storyline written in, a foil for that faction. That is always good television. And we have two of the main event guys in the company locked into an absolute personal blood feud, and that is the kind of stuff that works. Need I remind you of Randy Orton versus anyone that he seems to get in a blood feud with? Need I remind you KO versus Cody Rhodes? Need I remind you KO versus Sammy, right? Drew McIntyre has been in many blood feuds with Karrion Kross back in the day. So what I want to see is two guys that really do maybe hate each other backstage getting it on in the ring, and that's what we're going to have for months now. I couldn't be more excited.
It's terrific. I love it, and I think that's what we do. It's wrestling's fun. Wrestling's all about stories. And Chris, you mentioned this earlier. You were really down on the pay-per-view overall. I kind of.
That's not what I said. I said the end of that match almost ruined it for me. I enjoyed the pay-per-view, especially seeing Alexa and Charlotte win the tag team belts. I thought that was fantastic.
I thought so. It saved the main event for you, not the pay-per-view for you.
It really saved the pay-per-view as well. I did walk out, but
then you guys said that then.
It was a good pay-per-view. It was a good Saturday night. I was worried.
I think it was, it was a fun Saturday night. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was one of the better pay-per-views they've had. Let's talk a little bit about it. Rod, you and I called this Jelly Roll Randy Orton. I was like, Jelly Roll? Yeah, that's his name. Randy Orton match. Really pretty close to the end. We called the finish. I think you got to give him a lot of credit. Taking that bump on the table, I don't care if it's gimmicked or not, can hurt like hell. And he did a good, it was fine for what it was. To believe that power slam on Orton on Logan Paul was awesome too. For what it was fine.
Listen, you are not going to be able to downgrade Jelly for what he gave you in the ring there. You're going to see a little bit of, okay, maybe we have a semblance of somebody who, if he wants to put in a little bit more work, can give us a better return match, because hopefully he doesn't want to end his WWE career as in one. So I'm all for bringing Jelly back, seeing some more choke slams. I got to give Logan Paul credit for essentially jumping into Jelly's arms there to make that power slam look as good as it did. But hey, that's kind of what we're supposed to do, right? That's what we're here for We're here for entertainment. We're here to make our opponents look good. They then in turn make us look good, and that's what tells a good story. So I believe Jelly did that really, really well. The whole, hey, no, Randy, I got this. Leave me in the ring. He's getting beat down a little bit. Randy gets in there. I thought it was a good match. I enjoyed it.
Chris, you hated it, right?
No, listen, Rod's not wrong. I was impressed with the bumps that he took, right? I was surprised he took as many rough ones like that in the match. I thought for sure they were going to go a little bit easier on him, but you got to give it to him. Could have sold maybe that walk across the side of the ring a little bit better, maybe, but
he was kind of crying and saying sorry, and you could see he was blown up a lot. He was red, he was sweating, because you can't mimic a live wrestling match. You really can't. That match went 16 minutes and 20 seconds, according to 411mania.com. A match that did not go that long was Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill, and this was Jade Cargill's big chance to win the championship. She's got her Jamaican root. She's ready to go. The two things I got out of this are they're not ready to push Jade Cargill that far, and Jade Cargill's legs are taller than Tiffany Stratton. Because when Tiffany Stratton went for that move off the top rope, Jade Cargill put her feet up, and your feet are supposed to hit first, then you get hit by the feet, so it doesn't hurt as much. She almost killed Stratton on that. That was nuts.
Yeah, man, those two were definitely still green. I gotta admit, the match went quick, which we called correctly, but I'm quite surprised by the fact that Tiffany Stratton is holding on to the belt. I can't take anything more from it than what you said there exactly, Jimmy, is that they just know that Jade might be greener than Tiffany. And so they don't want to make her look even worse by giving her the belt and then having her propel her forward.
Where do you think Cargill goes from here, Chris? Because she's won Queen of the Ring and then lost.
I mean, it's got to go back to Naomi, right? Isn't that the most logical place for that to go? I mean, that hasn't really been rectified yet, has it? I wouldn't say no, because if Naomi has the belt right now, that's still who I would say is her biggest rival.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen with that at all. So where does Tiffany go from here? Is Stephanie Vaquer someone who comes in and beats her, but isn't she going to go after Naomi at Clash in Paris? Like, I don't see where this is going, unless, man, I don't know. I'm not sure where you go with this. The Raw side has a lot of going on with that women's championship. SmackDown, I'm not sure, Ron.
You can't put Tiffany Stratton in the ring with Stephanie Vaquer. You just can't. I'm sorry. Stephanie Vaquer wrestles circles around her, and I don't know if I like Stephanie Vaquer's ability to shepherd someone through a match quite as much as I like Naomi's. So I'm with you that it's got to be somebody other than Stephanie Vaquer. So I'm at a loss as well. I mean, we always have Nia Jax, who we can try to cook back up, right? I mean, how many times did they serve Nia Jax back up to us with Becky Lynch? You know what I mean? And like, whether we like it or not, Nia is always one of those you can preheat a feud pretty easily with her. I mean, Bayley, right? What's Bayley gonna do with this new, like, I said she was trying out a bum ass Corbin kind of thing. Could we maybe have Bayley trying to get back up the card, possibly? I guess, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm really surprised Tiffany won that match. I thought it was going to be a quick match, but I thought Jade was going to win.
Another quick match, we had Sammy Zane and Karrion Kross, and my person who I thought needed to step up a lot during this premium live event, was Karrion Kross, and the entrance was great. I didn't feel it, and he lost, and that's weird. I don't like it. Chris?
No, I didn't either. I mean, you guys know I have no love for Sammy Zane since he stopped being Usi, so I was all behind Kross in this match, and I think even if you make it so Sammy doesn't use the lead pipe or whatever, he still loses, right? I still think you have that happen. Other than that, I don't know where do you go with either one of these guys? Do another no-holds-barred street cage fight or something?
They can always do a no-holds-barred street cage fight. Jade and Bianca. Yeah, maybe Crippler. Maybe if you're even talking about them tagging together. But again, whatever. Or maybe going against each other. I guess Bianca would be the one to go after Tiffany Stratton now. So, yeah, that would be my guess there. We'll see what happens, Chris, with Sammy and with
Sammy's a made
Karrion.
man. It's fine. It doesn't matter what's going to happen with Sammy.
That doesn't matter with Sammy. You're right.
Sammy's a made man. What matters is Karrion Kross here. And Sammy, again, being a made man, he can afford being on his back for this match at SummerSlam night 1. He can afford it. And then Kross gets a little bit of propulsion from that, and he doesn't get it. So I like our guy Crippler said in the text during the matches, I'm worried that Karrion Kross's days in WWE might be numbered by this, right? Like they're like, hey, we gave you a SummerSlam run. Nobody really got excited in the crowd. You didn't win the match. We didn't have anywhere to go from there. So now you're just out of the company. So I'm bummed out by that because I continue to think Karrion Kross has a lot of potential because so much of the professional wrestling game these days is being able to tell a story and work the microphone, and Karrion Kross is definitely good at that.
Then we had Rod's second favorite match of the premium live event. And Flair won. We called it again. You got to go with him on this. I did love, Rod, we mentioned at the beginning here, I did love that Bliss accidentally hits Flair. Flair comes back, kicks Rodriguez in the face. We get the pin. We get champions. They still kind of hate each other, and I love it. I think it's terrific, Chris.
Yeah. It is great. And every time I see him, the Why Can't We Be Friends song keeps playing in my head. So I just absolutely I love everything about this team. Let them have the belts for a while and make the women's tag division really mean something.
And I think that's a really good thing to point out because with a face Charlotte, which, by the way, Charlotte Flair is not a good face at all, except right now. She's a terrific face with Alexa Bliss. So let's keep it going. Let's make these belts mean a little bit more. Yeah, I agree with you, Rod.
Well, listen, Chris thinks of Why Can't We Be Friends from War because he actually played Triangle in the War percussion section for a couple of tours. So, I mean, that's, he's a little too close to that situation. So I'm not surprised that he thinks of that. But
I was really only a backup on a couple shows.
That's true, but that's why I said Triangle. You know what I mean? I didn't give you like full percussion section credit there. You know what I mean? Like you only got in on a couple of songs. It's not like War has a big Triangle solo busting out during Cisco Kid. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen. What was I talking about, Jimmy? I got sidetracked with War and Chris's days of playing the Triangle.
Charlotte, dude.
You're right about not being a great face. I, too, am a bit trepidatious. Look at me dropping 10-cent words there. Trepidatious about what we're going to see out of Charlotte as a face. I still think that we have the Bray Wyatt cooking for Alexa anytime we want to because she continues to do the Sister Abigail and she continues to have Lily. So she has certainly not ran away from the weird side. So I'm pro what's happening right now. I'm pro anytime the queen can get gold around her waist. She looked really, really good in this match. I was happy to see that the knee brace sort of seemed like maybe it wasn't as metal, right? Kind of like and it got a little more down to like an old school knee brace. So I was excited about that. And anytime the queen wins, Jimmy, I can't be expected to be unbiased. That's just all there is to it.
So little behind the scenes here. We traveled and we got back about 3:00 Central Time, and my times are all messed up. Is it 7-6 Central? Is it 6-5 Central? To this day, I don't know when the time the pay-per-view started. I guess it had to start at 5:00 our time, I guess, here, right? So I was gonna go take a shower, but I'm like, the pay-per-view starting. Shoot. I'm like, Jackson, I'm gonna go completely shower when Jey Uso's music hits to see if I get back before. I got back when Roman was still walking to the ring. Why? The match itself lasted from bell to bell 21 minutes. The match didn't start, Rod, until about, I don't know, half past the hour.
Yeah, we had a long Jey Uso entrance. We had a long Roman entrance, and that's just Roman walking slow and doing the thing that Roman always does. But I thought Roman looked like $1 million. I literally said to my buddy Larry, who was watching SummerSlam with me, I said, listen, Roman can go away and come back as often or as little as he wants to, as long as he looks like $1 million every time that he comes back, and he does. Wrestled a good match. Jey wrestled a good match. Braun and Bronson seemed like guys who deserve to be in the ring with those two level of stars at the moment. That is huge for them. Then Seth coming back and winning the championship at the end again only helps to elevate them. So Braun Breaker's meant for big things. Bronson Reed, I'm not so sure. I like where he's at right now. I like his ability. But Braun Breaker's definitely meant for big things, and a lot of it was on display in that match.
I thought it was really neat when Roman did his dive over the top rope and almost jumped over everybody. They barely caught him because he was so far over them because of his athleticism, Chris.
Yeah, and let's be honest here, all right? Since I came back to wrestling, right, I have only seen really one version of Roman Reigns, and that's where he always puts himself first. So now we see a match where he literally puts himself on the line for a guy who left him back in the day in the bloodline. So is this a different type of Roman Reigns that we're going to see moving forward?
Roman always Yes, I think so, for sure. I think it's going to still take him an hour and a half to get to the ring, but other than that, it's fine. Okay. That is night one of SummerSlam. We did bury the lead, though. John Cena's a good guy again, Rod.
Yeah, I mean, we called the double turn, Jimmy, and I guess we can't get a double turn now because Cena's already there, unless they're working us. But I'd like to think they're not working us because we just had a complete work on night one with Seth, and it's just going to seem like we're going back to the well if they pull a Cena double switcheroo after just doing it on SmackDown. So it's going to be fun to see.
He doesn't
Cena go out in
respect
that
us,
way.
Rod. Of course
He knows more. He's smarter than we are.
Yeah, he's just pulling one over on us. It's only appearances. We won't see him fight again. There's still something fishy about that signature, I think.
Man, you hate him so much. It's ridiculous, Chris. I think night two is going to blow night one out of the water. We have Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental Championship. We've got that amazing TLC match. We've got Naomi, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley for the Women's Championship. Solo and Jacob in the Steel Cage. Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles for the Intercontinental. And Cena and Rhodes in the street fight for the undisputed WWE Championship. If you have not had the opportunity to listen to Bill Simmons' latest podcast with Cody Rhodes, listen to Bill Simmons' latest podcast. It's like 2 hours long.
It is.
And it's just, I just wanted to keep going. Those two had terrific chemistry together and really talked about a lot of stuff.
They certainly did. They were not afraid to possibly get into some conspiracies, right? So you conspiracy
Working the work.
theorists out there, right? The magic of how wrestling may exist in this world where we think we know so much, in the world where Unreal is premiering on Netflix. Cody opens the door just a tad bit to tell you how maybe work is still going on that you will never know about. And that, to me, is one of the coolest parts of wrestling.
We will try to be here tomorrow night as well to recap SummerSlam Night 2. But for now, you've been listening to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows Podcast Network. In the ring with Jimmy, Chris, and Rod Freakin Morgan.
LA Knight, you were missed, but Seth Rollins, revolutionary.
Goodbye, net. Yeah. And watch out for Timekeeper shenanigans in tomorrow night's John Cena match.
Chris just dropping nuggets.
I love it, Chris.
Just nuggets.